Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI-powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Gaidusek.
Hey there, welcome back for episode 46 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Gaidusek, and today I wanted to just casually talk about what I'm seeing in the real estate market and people's houses that I'm looking at, especially in my neighborhood, and how AI could potentially play a role in just like making your houses better and like not so freaking boring. Like, what is going on? These houses that I'm seeing on the market are just, oh my gosh. Okay, we'll get into it in a second. But for any realtor or designer that's here, like we try not to judge, right? Like we don't walk into people's houses typically and make judgments on the way that they live their life. However, when you put it on MLS and you're trying to sell your house, I'm judging you because you're in my neighborhood, and that has to do with how much my house could potentially sell for one day. And if yours looks like that, then yeah, my house doesn't look like that. So yeah, I don't know. And I'm happy to be here. I actually have no intention in selling my house for once in my life, in my husband's life, for a while. Like we're perfectly content here. But AI, I think, is going to play a big role in the next couple of years with just like elevating the way that we live in our houses, and not only like, bringing technology and robotics, I guess, into our homes to streamline things. And then the connectivity that we have with AI and, just like you walk into a room and you can change your blinds, and, it's a personal setting where like you go into a room versus your 8-year-old, and there's different settings for the different people that live there. So like, audio systems, or play my favorite songs, or just like dim the lights to how I like it. Those types of things. But just generally looking at houses right now, because there's so many in my neighborhood. Like there's so many in my neighborhood right now, and especially on my street, which is crazy to me because it's still being built. Like half of my neighborhood on my street is still being built, and there's probably like 7 houses for sale just on my street, which means that people purchased them in like the last, less than 2 years, brand new. So the market's just crazy. But for that reason, I was like, well, like what's moving, especially with everybody listing their houses for springtime, right? That's like typically what people do. They wait for whatever that certain golden week is, and then they list it. But here's the deal. Here's what I'm seeing. And I encourage you to go look at like your local MLS. And I'm curious to see what yours is looking like right now, like what your local inventory for houses is or are, whatever, right now. So here's what I'm seeing. Okay. Not only is this a cluster right now between the insane amount of new construction, which I'm not knocking, I'm really not, but like, what are we doing? Like, who can afford these houses? And also you're tanking the other houses in the market. And I'm not obviously an expert on any of this. However, I did get my real estate license after design school, and I did, work in this industry, or at least adjacent to this industry, for a long time, for a very long time. So of course there's going to be hotter markets than others, especially Florida, like I work on spec homes. I work on semi-construction in Florida. And from what I'm hearing, they're doing great. Of course, they're like doing, you buy it, we build it type of thing in that neighborhood, not like all this sitting inventory. But here's the issue that I'm seeing, and I could totally be wrong here, but this is just from me and my experience and my research and going out and talking to my neighbors. So, and my realtor. So what I'm finding is that in my neighborhood specifically, this neighborhood has been being built now for, I want to say, like 8 years. So the other side of the neighborhood, the old side of the neighborhood, the houses, those people bought for like 250. Okay. Our house was almost double that. And that's just, coming off of COVID and all that stuff and prices. And then also, like, our area is kind of a destination area up in like North Charleston side. We live in Nexton. So it is up and coming. It has been for about 10 years, but like we're really starting to see a peak of like, businesses are moving in and retail's here, and there's tons of great restaurants coming in to the area. Just tons of plans for things. However, the builders are not done building in my neighborhood and then in some of the others down Nexton Parkway. And they're about to start like entirely new developments. Like they're clearing land to start new developments. And my husband and I were talking last night, and we're like, why? Because in our neighborhood, we've got the new construction and they can't move the remaining things, right? Because like the interest rates are still crazy. Like, I mean, just to get personal, like I still can't refinance from what we got for our interest rate when we were like, oh, well, it'll go down. We'll just refinance. No, it's been over 2 years and we still have a better rate. So people are struggling, right, to be able to get a good interest rate right now. And, credit, which is also terrifying for a lot of millennials, I guess I could say, and younger, being one myself, because student loans, especially with, what could potentially be happening here and now. And also just a lot of us, like, we've been through a lot with our generation. We had a lot of student loans and they could be detrimental to a lot of people. So buying a house, first of all, was difficult. And then if you are in the position to buy a house, then you got to have decent credit. And then we have high interest rates. So builders are doing their builder incentives so that they can move their inventory that's just sitting there, right? Because like rather sell it than have to keep all of the, the costs up to not sell it. So they're cutting prices. So for the people that are in like my little neck of the woods over here, they're all fairly new houses, like some of these houses people haven't even lived in for a year. Like they're brand new and they're already up for sale. Now, some of them are, military. They had planned on this. It is what it is. But now they're fighting against so much inventory because in my street alone, in my new, there's maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 100 houses in like this part. I live on one of the biggest parts, I guess, the newest parts. I'd say in just my strip right now, I can see 7 houses for sale. 7, just right here, like in my peripheral, whatever it is, out my window, peripheral. That's a lot. That's a lot of houses. And that's not even on the other side of the neighborhood. The other side of the neighborhood where they were buying their houses for, like half almost of what we did. They're selling them now for like 100 under what this side of our neighborhood is with the newer houses. And granted, like some of them are like really nice, right? That are on the older side and they've done great updates to them, but then some of them are not. So it's 350 and they're like, it's a lot of house for the most part, which is great. But if you can buy a house for 350 and then there's a house on the other side that's 450, and then there's a house that's being like that you could design yourself that's a semi new construction that's being built right now. Sorry, semi-custom new construction that's being built right now for the same price. Why wouldn't you do that? Right? Like, why wouldn't you just have a brand new house? So the people that are listing right now are sitting here with their houses and everybody's like, we're getting no showings. So I looked at MLS last night. I looked to see what was listed for inventory and oh my word. These are my neighbors. And I looked inside their houses and I was slightly terrified by some of the things that I saw last night. So some of these things, it's just like, I don't know. Like one of them came on yesterday and it was like 3 hours when I looked at it. They had pictures with like, I don't know, the artwork, it says like the family name, and it's on the middle of a really long wall in the living room, like 2 inches from the top of the to the ceiling. Like they hung this random name sign, and then they have these cheap little orange curtains, and then like these, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it. This glass table that looks like it's, I don't even know, very 90s, very 90s, like all of it is. And so it's pretty empty except for the shoe rack, which they made sure to get a picture of when you walk into their house. There's so many shoes, but then like the rest of the house is pretty empty. So it's like, what are you doing? Did you see the houses that are actually selling in this neighborhood and what their listings look like? You're in a competitive market right now. And if your house doesn't at least like look nice, you know, like with the hard finishes, make it try and make it look nice with the styling at least. Or just like take it all out. Like just don't even. And like maybe go to a virtual stage, I guess, in that situation. But here's where I'm going with this. AI will be able to help people because these houses are sad. These new construction houses that are builder produced, they're sad. Like there's mix match samples, and I'm like, who's making these selections? I don't want to put anybody down here, but it's almost like during COVID, like everybody was just like, well, we got some of that in the back. Let's put that in the house. You know, like it doesn't make any sense. They're gross. Like I don't know who's going to live there with these finishes when there's a competitive market and you can buy something that looks nicer. It just looks nicer. People like upkept and they did good things to their house. You know what I mean? So here's what I'm finding. You guys know this. Like we have seen well, I'm going to make my selections for the next homeowner, right? Like I'm going to put in basic white kitchens and gray or neutrals, and I'm not going to put it in any color because it's for the next buyer. Who gives a shit about the next buyer? Like, can I just say that? Like, what are you doing? Live in your house, love where you live, and have fun with it. I'm going to eventually take a tour through my house for you guys because finally I live in a place where I don't want to move. I've moved 15, 16 times. Okay. My husband and I, we have always loved to move. It's just kind of been our thing. And all those times have been after college. I lived in the same house my entire high school career, my entire childhood. So all of those moves came after because I enjoyed it. And also I didn't love where I lived. Nothing felt like home to me and made me want to stay there. But this house does. This house is me. This house is my family. This house makes me happy. And I used a little AI, especially for what you're seeing behind me if you're watching on YouTube, for my office to figure out how I was going to paint it. My kids' rooms have, like, I got addicted to doing stuff like this. So this cool paint stuff. I've got wallpaper in almost every room. I've got cool paint patterns in vibrant colors. Upstairs, I'm slowly starting to get to things when my daughter's room is done, and it's beautiful. It's vibrant. It's fun. It's organized. Like, but I didn't paint everything, you know. And it's just paint. You can always paint over paint. My son's room has the solar system on the ceiling, and then we have I used AI to show him some ideas for what we could potentially do. And he wanted blue, so he selected his own blue paint color. I showed him with Visual Electric some things that we could do with like stars and like, you know, like how I could paint the walls and do little clouds on it. And I did, and he loved it. And I used AI to like show him that. I used AI to show my husband some colors that I could bring into his office. And just overall like look, because he was, you know, he was stuck, like, and he needed a change of pace. So we moved his office and switched the kids' room, which I'm now going to paint both. But my house makes me happy and I enjoy being here. I don't see a reason to move at this point in time because I finally have a house that is the reflection of me. Okay. Of course, sometimes we just get stir crazy. We want to go, right? Or our jobs move us or the military moves us. And I get it. It is what it is. And we can't all do this. And we can't all do this right now, but maybe one day we'd like to. But here is the thing. The only house that has sold for way over what the new people, because they were across from me, so we moved in around the same time. The only house that sold for way more than we really thought it was going to, in the high five range, had some stuff done to it. Now, granted, everything was black and white. It was very boring, but it was nicely done. And for people that see value in that, because it's not basic builder, they snatched it up immediately and they were willing to pay for that. Now, these basic builder grades that I'm seeing where people are like, oh, well, I bought it for this. Now I'm going to try and flip it and make more, and did nothing to it. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants your problem. Like, nobody wants to move into a place and then like they have to give it personality. People have no vision, right? So I'm speaking to designers here for the most part, right? So your job is to make sure that people stop doing this and stop living in their homes for somebody that they don't even know. For years, people are doing this. And let's look at the mental health for a second of our country, right? Like, people are sad. People have been very sad for a very long time, okay? You know, like COVID was a huge peak of that, right? And we really never got back to the way that we were before. Like, people were always sad, right? But people got really sad and really depressed around that time. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're always in our houses, especially now. Like, we're still always in our houses. And people's houses are boring AF. They are so black and white, no color, no personality. Of course you're depressed. You're in your house all day and you're scrolling on your social media feed, and when you look up, you see a gray wall or a white wall. Yeah, I'm sure you're depressed. Put some color on it, live in your house, hire a designer that can show you with AI technology conceptual ideas for bringing vibrancy and bringing personality into your home. And maybe you won't want to move, or maybe you have to move and, you know, you can do these things temporarily, but you know, hard finishes can always be neutral. Okay. It's what you do with the other stuff that matters. It's what you do with the paint, the, even just temporary wallpaper, the furnishings, the pops of color, the plants, bring in some plants. Like, guys, you're going to sell your house over your competitors so much faster if you bring personality. And I know this is completely the opposite of probably what every realtor will say, but I'm just looking at what has actually sold in our neighborhood and what they got for it. And then other neighborhoods too, you know, like, yes, there's a builder grade, but if you're not buying new and you're not getting the new for that, it better have some freaking personality, or else your house is going to sit in this market. So if you don't design it for you, design it for the next one, but give it some personality and stop doing everything black and white. Literally, if I see another freaking black wall, or like those walls with the, you know, the trim, like just simple, like the DIY thing, you know, everybody can do it type thing, but it's all black. Everything's black. Put some color in your life. I just like, oh my God. I don't know. Am I alone on this? You guys gotta let me know, because like, I would not want to, okay, I'm going to take that back. I would want to move into one of these houses so that I could change everything about it and make it look awesome, because these are boring as, and I really feel for these people that are all listing their house right now in these competitive markets, with especially in these builder markets where you have nothing special to offer, and they're undercutting you with builder specials, and they're undercutting you with older houses that they can, because they're still going to turn a profit. So if this is you like finding in the middle of this, or if you're a realtor, or if you are a designer, try and show some people some things that they can do to their houses. Maybe AI, you know, like use My Architect, use Home Visualizer, use some of these other virtual staging AI programs, and just be like, look at, maybe do something else. Maybe add a pop of color, because the white and the black, it's boring. We're over it and we are depressed. So let's do something better. Okay. That's it. That's my rant. I just wanted to say, like, AI can really help you guys here move some houses, hopefully. Or at least love the house that you live in after you do these updates. You're like, maybe I don't need to go over there. Maybe I do love it here. Maybe I'll try again in 6 months we'll see where the where everything is, and then maybe I'll get a little bit more at that time, or the interest rates will come down. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for today. It's crazy. This world is crazy, but I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know below. And I will talk to you guys soon. Next week, I'm probably not going to do an episode because it is AI Design Tech Summit. So I hope to see you there. Remember that tickets are on sale now. They are extremely affordable. It's a full day. I'm going to teach you guys so many things. It's very interactive. So I hope to see you on April 4th for that. And I will link it below. Until then, have a great day, guys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.